We all know that effective communication is critical in relationships and organizations and everything, frankly, that we're doing day to day, inside and out of our work organization. One of the things that I think is really critical is that recognizing that effective communication is really a catalyst towards a strong culture. It's also an important component of building trust, of team dynamics, of your ability to be able to delegate as a leader, your ability to be able to create accountability as a leader. So there's so many things that effective communication really hits on and makes an impact on. What's interesting sometimes is that we don't necessarily think about the word effective in the terms of how we communicate to new employees, to onboardees. So effective communication begins in the onboarding stage. One is it's thinking about, well, what does this person need to know? What are the things that they can understand easily? What are things that are going to take them a little bit longer to be able to understand and maybe apply? And then what are things that you really want them to know that's going to be something that's going to help re-inspire them to be a part of the organization? And then for them to understand what you need from them. So many times in our own history and places that we've worked before, we walk in and we think, oh my goodness, I looked at this job description. I'm so excited about this role, but it's big. It's overwhelming. So not only do I have to learn this job, I have to learn the new way of doing things, the new lingo, new people. And people tend to hold themselves to the accountability of, I need to get this all figured out in a week. And they're going to expect me to basically be operating under perfection in week 3. And so us to be able to talk to an onboardee and say, hey, we're going to share information to you about some things in these ways. And we're really planful. We know that you're not going to understand all of these pieces when you have the first conversation, or we give you a great presentation or show you a video. We want to be able to expose you to that at that stage. Then we're going to be able to come along a little bit later, whether a week later, or we're going to have some conversations about this, or we're going to expose you to another learning or another video or another presentation. And we feel like that this will continually help you to build your understanding in that area. What's interesting is that now you've sold the employee, we have a plan for you, we value you, we care about your learning, and we know you're not going to be able to get it all at once. The other thing that's really key is setting clear expectations with your onboardee on the first day, within the first week, and talking to them about what you expect to see in the first week. Give them just a little bite-sized piece of it to say, Heather, I don't expect you to have all aspects of the job description figured out within the first week. What I want you to do this week is to be able to understand this, talk to people in this area. Maybe you can move this small thing forward. Then at the end of week 1 or the beginning of week 2, talk about what you expect for the first 30 days. At the end of the first month, maybe you can talk about even 60 to 90 days. People want to be able to understand that, oh, you actually don't expect me to be an expert in my field. You don't expect me to be able to have all of these pieces in producing work on day 7. So it's important that you're setting those expectations. What's great about this is now you've set a role model, and you've role modeled and led by example that, hey, talking about expectations, giving feedback, helping you to understand what I need from you is part of the way that we work here. And so your new employees will force you to continue that conversation in a good way. They'll ask you the next new project that comes to them after their 3-month mark or within their 3-month mark. They'll say, hey, can you give me some different directions? What do you expect from this? And so it begins a conversation that is moving towards great effective communication and helps to remind you as a leader what people really need along the way.